The work in the early, mid-2000s, that was figurative, cartoony imagery. It got to a point where I wanted something more out of the painting. So that was a slow process, leaving the figuration and then going to abstraction. But to me, it was just wanted to reinvent my imagery. And I feel like artists have to do that to survive, in terms of just, you need to follow that path, your intuition. The exhibition is a combination of paintings and then my 10 works on paper, which are really an area of exploration and materiality. The way I approached the work was thinking about certain elements of pieces that I've created in the past, and that led into another world of image making. The way the works on paper are created is over time, and it's a lot of unpredictability in the way of handling the material. And so I thought that was a great opportunity for the first time to have the works on paper exhibited, to kind of let the viewer see a different kind of timing and image making. When it comes to the painting, it's a little more challenging, but I almost start with the edge. The structures are almost like inverted canvases. And that's where this whole idea several years ago came about. Approaching painting was, I was trying to free up the weight of painting. There's so much history to it. What is my relationship to the structure, to painting, and how can I make it my own? So for me, once I got rid of the canvas and the stretcher bars, it became like an object. I think the approach to image making was a lot more freer and expressive, and so it allowed a whole new world to be created. The materials, because they can get heavy, there's a lot of fabric layered onto the pieces. The actual core of the piece is foam. The work, all of it has some collages of fabric on them. There's towels, there's mainly towels, but there's carpet. There's a sense of time that I'm creating when building up these layers, and visually it just gives it a weight to the whole object. It's such a different experience when if it's very flat to when it's built up, and you kind of get lost into all the texture. And then, yeah, there's sand as well. Anyways. You know, sometimes some of these things that I find they're at secondhand stores, sometimes I feel like they're very loaded, the fabric, and I'm very careful. I feel guilty sometimes, you know, when I cut it to make a shape, you know, so I try to honor the piece in the best way as possible, you know, and I don't throw any of it away, so I try to use every part of it. I look at that material like sometimes, you know, like paint. It's just another material medium that I'm using to create an image. Like I'm going through these places and I'm feeling the fabric, and it's like, you know, is this gonna be nice to paint on? Or sometimes is this gonna be something that's gonna be very challenging to paint on? I'll have to really fight this fabric. So I think the approach is very similar to traditional painting, you know, when I'm looking at these materials.